Hey, Amy, it was so good to see you in your classroom the other day. How do you think your project-based learning went?
It went well. I think they really enjoyed working together as a team and they liked having the freedom to kind of do their own project. But I think next time I would give more direction. Like I said, we talked about the effects of sunlight and that it makes things warm, but I didn't really go over what we can use day to day to keep us cooler. So, like umbrellas, or one of my kids said after we built it, like the shade of a tree. And I think if I would have had that conversation first, it would have directed their projects more. And instead, they just kind of all were like gluing things on boxes, which they still made a structure that could cover the tubs. But I think just giving them a little more structure as far as what project they could have made too. And I also would have liked more materials. I think I didn't have quite enough. I had like just cardboard boxes and plastic bottles. So maybe some like construction paper I could have thrown in there, stuff like that.
Would you try doing this project over again now that you see what went well and what didn't go?
Yeah, I think that they would like to do it over again. And I was even thinking instead of large groups, because I did 4 groups for each tub, maybe do smaller groups, like 2 or 3, and then we could have multiple shade structures per tub and see which one worked better. So kind of troubleshoot. So I think they would have a lot of fun doing it again. I mean, they could have done it all day yesterday. So
That's good. And then how do you feel the lesson went in regards to the standards that you were teaching?
I think it went well. They understood the effects of sunlight when we observed the tubs the first time. And they did understand that we needed to cover the tub in some way to stop the effects of sunlight. But I think that they didn't really grasp the concept of, instead of just putting a big structure over top of it, how can we build something smaller that could sit in the tub?
Okay.
So I do think it hit the standards and they understood the effects of sunlight, which was the main focus.
And then maybe next time you can also bring in like real life examples, like you said about the
Yeah.
umbrella, or like when we go out to dismissal, what are they sitting under when they're waiting for their cars? And then sometimes when the wind comes and they blow those tarps when we don't have the shade, you can talk about how that changes and things like that.
Yeah, and even walking outside, I think, and having them find different areas where it's cooler, where they can stand in the shade and then look at what's keeping them shady above. So
Yeah.
I think that would be a good idea.
And as far from what I saw, I think the kids definitely looked engaged. You know, they were working well together. You have a very sweet class. You didn't seem to have students that wanted to be the leader. They all
Yeah.
kind of wanted to work together. Because sometimes you have those groups of kids that are very bright and they want to take charge because they understand things and they know things. So that was good to see. So I'm glad I was able to see that in your classroom. Do you have any other questions or concerns about what's coming up? We have benchmarks coming up, so I know it's kind of getting stressful with that.
No, I think everything's been good. You're easy to reach, so obviously we can touch base a lot. So.
Right? It's easy to have that. Nice to have someone in your grade level
On
as
site, yeah.
your reflective coach. All right, well, we'll see you later.
All right.